right, my team, can you hear me just as a audio check?
Yes, we can hear you.
All right, good. All right, we still have a few people joining and coming through the waiting room, and the TA will take care of that as we go. Want to thank everyone for being here today. My name is Brandon Falk, and I'm the Director of Internships and the Head Advisor for the Division of Construction Engineering and Management. It's a beautiful day outside, and for you to take time to be with us, we appreciate that. We have a great story that we are eager to tell you about, and that's why with us today we've got several existing students, a couple alumni, and then we have a few of our faculty members that will be joining us today. And about midway through, just so you understand our agenda, I'll take about 10 to 15 minutes to talk about the program, and then I'll let everyone introduce themselves that is a guest with us today and let you know what room they're going to be in. And we're going to have 3 breakout rooms for about 15 minutes that will allow you to jump into those rooms and ask questions of each one of those individuals. So when they introduce themselves and they identify what room they're in, just take a moment to note which one you might be most interested in, learning a little bit more about their story and what they have to do, and you'll be able to ask questions there. By all means, ask questions as we go throughout the program here. We've got a couple of our young people will be monitoring the chat, and they'll answer as we go, and or they'll ask, pop in and ask questions of me, and that is okay. I kind of like that free flow. So to get started, I've got a video that our industry commissioned about 4 years ago. So be prepared to adjust your volume as we go. It's about 2 minutes, and I think it'll give you a really good insight into who we are. So here we go.
Stuck in an office, slow and monotonous, not challenging, behind the times. Forget the old stereotypes of construction and see where the future is heading. Innovation and advancements in technology are all around us. Purdue's construction engineering and management degree not only embraces these new forward-thinking trends and innovations, but it throws you right in the middle of the action. Purdue students have the opportunity to work for local family-owned firms, to global firms, to specialty firms in the construction industry. With a personal, hands-on environment, Purdue immerses you. Mobile technology, robots and automation, prefabrication and modularization, augmented reality like construction applications for Google Glass, 3D printing, the list goes on and on of these cool tools we get to use every day. The student of today will be realizing these technologies as they transform from academia to professional practice, putting you in position to excel in your career. From building skyscrapers to stadiums, chemical facilities to transportation, wind farms to museums, bridges to airports, roads to electric generation, hotels to hospitals, the landscape of our country is your playground. Purdue's top-notch job placement starts your career with large to small companies with an alumni that's connected. Stuck in an office.
I apologize. I hit the mute button for some reason, and that stopped us. So what will happen is we'll make sure that the PowerPoint's distributed to everybody, and we'll kind of go on moving forward through the presentation. But hopefully what you saw there was a lot of excitement in what our industry has to offer, and a lot of variety. Our industry commissioned that because of the need for young individuals, professionals that are in the engineering realm to enter the construction industry. And so a lot of people ask us, well, what is construction engineering? There's a lot of different things that I can, describe and explain to you, but we'll step through that. One of the conversations to sum it all up before we even get started is a conversation I had with the first-year engineering student this morning about our program, and it's the variety and the opportunities that I think that we provide is what construction engineering is and what it can provide to you. So let's get started. So construction engineers, the biggest thing and the typical thing to summarize who we are, we're the individuals that are responsible for the design of how to build things. And as you can see here, we can build anything, and that's what our job is, to execute and process that information that may come from a stakeholder or a developer, somebody that has intent, that provides that to a designer. Then it's our job to take those ideas and the plans and everything that's on paper and make it real. And really, it's everything that we see and utilize every day. So you can see a lot of things: stadiums, roads, bridges, oil and gas refineries, things of that nature. So why would you want to choose this program? And I was in your shoes many years ago. I'm a product of our program, and I had no idea that construction engineering even existed when I came to Purdue. But I was sitting in your shoes and listened to the same individual, or an individual that was in my position in the 90s, talk about construction engineering. And what sold me was the ability to produce a meaningful product. And that's why we put that in this slide as our top reason, because really everything that you want to do in life has to come from the built environment. And if you don't have that built environment, then it's tough to be able to produce medicines, or to be able to operate and heal others. So I wasn't going to be a doctor, but I saw an opportunity where I could work in a team environment and make a difference for many people. And so that's why I chose construction engineering. But here's some other things, about the program and what the career paths are that are out there. Is the ability to have a variety in your day. Everything's different. The opportunity to spend time outside and away from the desk, and there's a lot of opportunity for travel. So when you look at the curriculum, and we'll get into that in a little bit more in depth down the road, but in general, you get 80% construction engineering, which has a lot of structural engineering elements to it, and about 20% management. And management is the management of people, the management of time and money, and contracts. So it all comes together in the management side. And we do take some courses in Craner, as well as courses that we have embedded in our program. One thing that is really huge and should be noted about our program is that we have a 100% job placement. In the last 10 years, that is 100% correct. We, in the past 3 years, have seen a significant increase in the starting salary for our young people. So the graph here, basically you're talking about $10,000 in the last 3 years in general growth relative to the starting salary. And that's tremendous. And that goes to show why our industry advisory board got behind making of the video that you saw at the beginning, and the reason why they have a need. So the supply and demand is starting to show here in the starting salaries. Another thing to point out about our program is our current climate is unique to all of us, and some industries have taken a significant hit, and we really feel like we've shown that we're resilient in that aspect relative to being a necessary job, and in the numbers relative to national average and the rescinded full-time offers and internships. And I'll speak specifically to the internships. We had 120 students that were supposed to be on assignment last year, and only 20 of them had some complication associated with that. So that's well over half a reduction in the national average, and that's a good thing when you're looking at the perspectives of what you're going to do when you leave campus and what your life will look like. It's great to know that there's resiliency in the industry that you're going to go into. So talking about the plan of study, we touched on a little bit about the 80% construction engineering and the 20% management. We take classes in CEM, civil, classes from Craner in management, and then computer graphics, CGT courses. And in all, it's 126 credit hours to graduate. as part of our plan of study, you will have 3 internships before you graduate, and that's part of your degree completion. We'll talk about that in more depth because that's a pretty, that's a keystone of the program. And then additionally, some of the young people that are on the call today will be able to talk about their capstone course that they're in right now. And a couple of them that are alumni have been a part of a transition that we've made over the past few years, where our capstone course is now a 2-semester course. And we work with local stakeholders to produce something that is impactful in the community that we're within. Our goal is to pursue a project, to plan it, and to design it in the fall semester, and then to execute it, whether it's the physical design or a prototype associated with that design. And that's our goal in the spring. All right, so touched on the capstone course. Here's a good example of that. Right before COVID hit, we were starting to work on a prototype for one of our projects, and that's what this team's working on here. They were able to apply some of the things that they designed in a prototype and learn about efficiencies, production, cost measures, and just general means and methods of how to do something. So it's pretty cool that we're able to do that on one of our off-site labs. The structured internship program, I talked about that. It's 3 progressive paid internships. They can be in the fall and the spring, but typically they're in the summer. And as I mentioned, they're paid. That was a question I got from a first-year engineering student this morning. You'll go out and work the first summer after your freshman year. My job is to help align you with companies that you'll be successful with in their national and regional opportunities. So you're not really stuck in one location. And at the bottom here, obviously you don't have the link at your disposal at the moment, but go to YouTube and search construction engineering and management at Purdue, and you'll be able to go in and look at our playlist. And we have existing student profiles, portfolio profiles, that you can listen and learn about what their experiences are. And those specific portfolio profiles are of students that are sophomores. And you can see the value and the type of opportunities they get. We have international opportunities. If you're interested in that, please see me and we can talk more about those. We've had some outreach opportunities throughout the years, but obviously right now we're on a hiatus with that, but that gives us an opportunity where we're working with young people in K through 12, and they're learning as we go as well. And it's always a great opportunity for our young people to be mentors. One thing that our students will talk about over and over again is our small class sizes. You typically have 35 to 40 classmates in your cohort, and you get to know each other, and that allows you to be engaged in the organizations and as well as outside activities. And that's something that we're really proud about. In that same YouTube location, we have an alumni series that we're starting, and it's our alumni are so passionate about who they are and what they've learned both at Purdue and what they're doing out in industry. So that's really critical. If you want to learn from them some of their stories, you can go to that YouTube channel and look as well. So a quick overview, we are a Bachelor of Science in Construction Engineering. We're ABET accredited like all other programs in the College of Engineering, and you can become a professional engineer. I'm one. As I mentioned, I'm a product of the program, and I do have a professional engineering license. Another overview highlight is the paid internships, and that's part of my job is to help facilitate and align you with those. It's hands-on experience opportunities, the opportunity to work in some management courses and accelerate your career, and 100% job placement at graduation. That's really the highlights of our program in a nutshell. So if you're interested, please come and see me at any point in time. I'm meeting with first-year engineering students right now, and we're starting to develop a plan. That's the goal, is to develop a plan for you and what you're looking for. But if you're still searching and trying to figure things out, at the beginning of January, we like to, what we call an application is due. It's really just an opportunity to gather information and for me to get to know you. Because at the end of the day, The goal is to work with you and for you to find the best possible opportunities that are out there. And it may not always be clear and obvious to you, but we're going to help coach you through it and give you an opportunity to get your leg up on your competition, your peers that are out there. So here's my contact information. Don't worry about writing that down at the moment, because we'll recap when we're done, and you'll be able to get this information at that point in time. But at this point, I'd like to introduce our guests. They're going to tell you quickly about themselves in less than 60 seconds and tell you what room they're going to be in. And then when we go to the breakout rooms, maybe you can select based off of their introduction who you'd like to learn a little bit more about. So first off is Mackenzie.
Thanks, Brandon. So like Brandon said, my name is Mackenzie Volgrel. I'm currently a senior here, so I'll be graduating in May from the program. I'm from Ferdinand, Indiana, which is a really small town in southern Indiana. So as a senior, I've already completed 3 internships. My first internship was with actually my family's residential construction business. So I was able to do the hard labor aspect of construction, and I think that better developed my skills and knowing how a project progresses. My second internship, I did it in Dallas, Texas, and that was with Mass Electric, which is a subsidiary of Kiewit. I worked in the estimating department. And then this past summer, I was actually fortunate enough to get to go to my job site, and I did another internship with Mass Electric, and this one was located in Washington, D.C., where we performed a station rehab project for the Metropolitan Railway System in D.C. If you would like to learn more about my experiences, also I did study abroad in New Zealand, so if you have questions about that, you can talk to me in breakout room number 1.
Awesome. Thanks, Mackenzie. Sophia.
Hey, I'm Sophia. I'm a junior in the CEM program. So I've completed 2 internships so far. I'm from right outside of Chicago, suburb of called Westchester. And I did 2 different internships, one in St. Charles, working for a smaller company where I did like the pay apps and like contracts and like big picture stuff with them. And then my second internship was on a job site for Amazon with Ryan Companies. We worked on one of their fulfillment centers, which was really cool because it was probably the most expensive and the largest project that they've ever done, and they're a big company. So if you want to learn more about that or me or anything, I will also be in breakout room number 1.
Awesome. Victoria.
Hi everyone, I am Victoria. I am a junior in the CEM program. My first internship was at Hudson Valley Engineers, which is in New York. I'm also from Westchester, New York, so right outside of New York City. Within this company, I was able to be a field engineer and do a lot of construction inspection. For my second summer, I was supposed to work in Houston, Texas on the wastewater treatment plant, but because of coronavirus, I personally rescinded that internship, but I was able to get another one, which is also a great thing about this program. And I worked at the same company again, doing more heavy civil stuff. I will also be in breakout room 1 if you want to learn more.
Outstanding. Gabby.
Hey guys, I'm Gabby Pizza, and I am from the south suburbs of Chicago, the Homewood Foster area. I'm also a senior in CEM, so I've had 3 internships so far. All of them have been with the same company. I just really enjoyed that company. But my first internship was in the Chicago area. I worked on a hospital remodel. My second one was in Seattle, which is where that second photo is shown. And I worked on sort of a modular build hotel, which is really cool. And then most recently I was in Denver, and I was able to work on a civil project. So that was a lot different, but I was able to still learn a lot. And I'll also be in breakout room 1. And just like Kenzie, I also studied abroad in New Zealand, so I can answer any questions about that.
Outstanding. And just a note, you'll be changing, my understanding, you'll be changing your ID to what room number you'll want so that the TA can move you there here in a moment. Charlie.
Yeah, wow, that photo's dated, isn't it? Hey, alumni with the program. My name's Charlie. I work for a contractor out in Seattle, Washington, Louis Crutcher Lewis. I work specifically in healthcare, construction, and it's been a blast. The major CEM has given me a lot of opportunities, and I'm going to be talking to you guys about careers and what you can do with this wonderful degree. And I can answer questions that you may have about the program. I'm sure that chat room 1 has more up-to-date information, but always happy to discuss the program. So happy graduate and working out in Seattle for a contractor. So I'll be in chat room number 2 talking about careers.
Thank you. Thank you. Sarah Hedberg.
All right. Hi, everyone. My name is Sarah, and I am also a graduate of the CEM program. I graduated in 2019, so just a year ago. I'm currently out working for Mortensen in Texas, working on a wind farm project, but I'm originally from Minnesota. I also studied abroad in New Zealand, and I did a semester working abroad. So if you're interested, I can also talk to you. It sounds like Breakout Room 1 has a lot of really good resources, but if you're interested in that stuff, I'll be in Breakout Room 2, so I'll be able to talk to you about it too.
Outstanding. Rob, have you been able to join us?
I have. Good evening, everybody. My name is Rob Culver. I'll be in Breakout Room 2 with the rest of the alumni. I graduated from the CEM program in 2005. I'm originally from Michigan, but I went to high school in Angola, Indiana, which is a very small town north of Fort Wayne. I work in Denver currently. Moved here in January with the company that I've worked for since 2003 as an intern. That's Kiewit. I spent most of my career working for the subsidiary known as Kiewit Foundations Company, specializing in deep foundations, and transferred to our design build estimating group, focusing on deep foundations in January.
Outstanding. Professor Widener.
Hi, my name is Ted Widener. I teach courses in construction engineering, specifically construction project controls, but also design build and critical thinking, which are technical electives that you can take in construction engineering. I got the Tinker Toys next to me because I like to tinker with things. I'm a licensed architect and a professional engineer, and really like bringing my 30+ years of experience in the industry into the classroom, challenging you and getting you excited about your career in construction. I will be in Breakout Room 3 and can talk about anything you're interested in further.
Outstanding. Appreciate it. And Professor Groff.
Yes, hello. I'm Jeff Graff. I'm teaching in construction engineering and management. I am also a registered architect. So my experience in professional work takes the perspective of building design, but getting these things actually physically out in the world for people to use is what this is all about ultimately. And so I teach both the introductory course of really laying the table for these processes, and introducing some of these tools that we can use to manage that construction process, but also a technical elective on integrative building design, and working on developing a more general elective on the foundations of architectural design. So a range of areas we discussed there. I'll also be in room 3 and look forward to fielding your questions and talking more about CEM.
Go up in this room, so I'll wait until we get to 100 and then kind of wrap up.
Okay.
As everybody's coming back, that's accelerating. We're up to over 100. So as everybody's coming back together, several things. I jumped into all 3 rooms and really good dialogue. I appreciate everybody being engaged, and I'm not sure what Sophia and Victoria got going on, but we'll handle that in class tomorrow there. But with all that being said, you distracted me, ladies.
Her motion sensor lights got me. I'm really sorry.
If anyone here lives in Meredith South, you know the issue.
Well, again, thanks to everybody. It's great, lively conversation. It's better than I could have anticipated. Appreciate our guests and their insight and the things that they brought to the table. And thinking of us, if you have more, questions and things that you want to run by us, I'll put my contact information back up here one more time towards the end. And really, don't hesitate to reach out. We're happy to talk more about the program. We're happy to get you started on the process sooner than later. And, we think we got some great things as far as the overview is concerned. 100% job placement. We're an engineering program, hands-on opportunity, paid internships. Our young people that have talked and our staff, faculty, there's a lot of passion there. So hopefully that's something that resonates with you. Come and see us sooner than later. And there is my contact information, as I mentioned. Don't hesitate to reach out. We'd love to talk more. We think that the opportunity to get in front of you, and we're open for face-to-face. If you want to meet with me one-on-one, we've got a conference room set up for that, and be happy to talk more about the program. Are there any final questions for us? No?
I see a question in the end. Yeah, we'll do a QR code at the very end for attendance, so just wait for that.
Yeah, go ahead and take control if you want to, and put that up there for the students.
Okay.
And, as I mentioned, thanks to all of our volunteers on our end, faculty, alumni, and students, and thanks to all of you for taking time out of your evening on a nice day to learn more about our program. We really appreciate that. It means a lot to us to be able to tell our story.
And if you can't scan the QR code, just go ahead and put your name in the chat. Name and Purdue email ID.
Brandon, you mentioned a January deadline for applying to an internship. Is that right?
So what we want to do is between now and January, we want to meet with individuals that want to come into our program. And so what we'll do by February 1st, we'll have met with the students that are interested. That's our goal, is to meet with all the students interested, kind of run you through a mock interview, scrub your resume, give you some pointers, and then let you do some window shopping on companies that I think would be a good fit for you based off of what you're telling me. And then we'll get you some interviews going. And that typically happens it happens sewed up by the 1st of April is our goal. Now I say February 1, we want to have met everybody as a goal. April 1, we want to have everybody placed as a goal. We have students that come in February, March, April, and say, hey, it didn't really resonate that your program would be for me, and it does, and I want to get involved and be a part of it. And we get young people still placed. So it's never too late. It's just our preference in trying to make it as seamless and as easy as possible. So that's why we say by January, we want to have met you, scrubbed your resume, and then in February and March, get you connected with some interviews. Does that help with that question?
Yeah, so the internship would be in the summer, like in the middle, before fall?
Yeah, typically it'd start May of next summer. Yeah. Now, if a student's interested in a fall or spring and doing an alternating, we're happy to set those up too.
Okay, thank you very much.
Yeah, absolutely. Any other questions?